Hey guys, so as indicated in the stream title, today what we'll be doing is discussing our songs.
Hello, everybody. This is our very first podcast. Hey, let's go.
Hey!
Permanently Red podcast. Today
Yeah.
we're going to be discussing all of our songs, hopefully all of our songs, but at least a lot of our songs that we have created on the Tackle Studios channel. Go ahead and check out that channel because those are where we post all of our songs, all of the things that we do to make our songs in GarageBand. And
As
all
you
of
can
our
see,
fellowships
today
as well.
a bit different background because
Yeah.
today what we're doing is we are going to be
We're
discussing
in our study room.
our song
That's why.
Lore.
Yeah.
The song.
So we're going to be going through some of our songs that we have created in the past, and just talking about that. Well, actually, maybe we can start with the very start, which is like just the beginning of how we started off the Tackle Studios channel. So basically, I think Evan, if you don't know, you remember when we started. But a couple of years ago, Evan told me that he had a tune which was Staring Into Space. Nowadays, Staring Into Space. But he just told me he had a tune. I listened to it, and I was like, we should totally make a song. And although there was a lot of things that Evan was having at the moment, and then also I was having at the moment, we were going to go into school very soon. So we were like, you know what, let's just try and get it done. Let's see how this goes. So we made the song, and that was what is now, today, Staring Into Space. And although it says it was posted 10 months ago, that's because we actually had time to make the whole album because we made a lot of songs starting from then. We decided after Staring Into Space, we are going to go on this journey and make more songs because we really like that experience we had of making it. In fact, I think we did one or two live streams of us doing it actually.
Guys, so
probably some reports more.
So before we even start playing these songs, in this podcast episode today, you will be witnessing all of our songs, and we will be explaining like our ideas behind each one of them, how it came to be, like all our future ideas for future songs. It'll be very interesting.
This is the very first one. Struggle here right now. So we're gonna be breaking it down, so you won't hear the whole thing as we go. But so one thing for sure is this. That very start, that was one of the more amateur things that happened during the first couple songs that we had. You will hear that also in, I think, A King is Coming, that one, the Vivo one that we did, and the A Heart with Two Homes. We had a couple of sounds that were in there that we didn't actually need to have. In fact, in the A Heart with Two Homes one, that one, there was either a song of a rapper or a Biscuit that he came in, and we literally left it in there. You actually hear that. So sometimes we left sounds in there that weren't meant to be kept, but we just didn't really think about getting rid of those things. So that's one thing. Really cool synths that we used as well. This was completely all like synths and fantasy kind of sounding noises. So that was what we were trying to go for here. That's the background we used for the lyric video. Oh yeah, I want to talk a little bit also about that first line, because there's a funny story behind it actually, and I think the mouse. Let me take a close that. There's a funny story behind the Mother Earth is masterpiece. So first off, this was actually one of the easier songs for us to make lyrics of because it was not really heartfelt. It was more kind of like our very first song. So we don't have other songs in the past where we think, oh, if we say this, it's kind of like repeating something, or even the tune. It came by so quick. Not the original tune, but everything that came after that chorus tune. It was really easy to make. We're not like, oh, there was something in the past that we made that was, that could possibly, you could think, hey, that's kind of a similar thing. Another thing is also a very funny story about this first part of the lyrics, because when we were producing the lyrics, we were actually doing it kind of simultaneously. We were almost done with the song when I said, hey, why don't we start doing lyrics? That was kind of a dumb move because we were not yet finished. It's kind of good to finish the song first. But well, I said, let's make lyrics, and we were thinking, okay, how are we going to do this? And I said, well, kind of sounds like an astronaut kind of sounds, so we should think about how an astronaut would feel. And then, I don't know which one of us said it, but we said, how would an ant feel if he was on Earth? So we said, Mother Earth is a massive beautiful place. It was so big compared to an ant. When we said that, I remember that conversation. One of us said that, what did you think about ant? We just said, Mother Earth is a massive beautiful place.
It's probably me.
Hey, that actually works with the lyrics. And then the rest is kind of based off of just that first line. Because then we didn't really think about the end. We just thought about, hey, that would be pretty cool to have a space sort of song. And this does sound like a very space sort of song. This is one of our only songs that actually sounds like that. in the first album. The second one is maybe Space or the Sound. This gets